The aphorism, "a rising tide lifts all boats," is associated with the idea that improvements in the general economy will benefit all participants in that economy, and that economic policy, particularly government economic policy, should therefore focus on the general macroeconomic environment first and foremost. The phrase is commonly attributed to John F. Kennedy, who used it in a 1963 speech to combat criticisms that a dam project he was inaugurating was a pork barrel project. However, the phrase has been used more commonly to defend tax cuts and other policies where the initial beneficiaries are high-income earners. Origins. In his memoir Counselor, A Life at the Edge of History, Kennedy's speechwriter Ted Sorensen reveals that the phrase was not one of the president's own fashioning. It was in his first year working for Kennedy, when Mr. Sorensen was trying to tackle economic problems in New England, that he happened upon the phrase. He writes that he noticed that the Regional Chamber of Commerce, the New England Council, had a thoughtful slogan, "A rising tide lifts all the boats." For then on, JFK would borrow the slogan often. Sorensen highlights this as an example of quotes mistakenly attributed to President Kennedy, meaning, the expression also applies to free market policies, in that comparative advantage production and subsequent trade would theoretically increase incomes for all participating entities. It is said to be a favorite proverb of former U.S. Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin. However, Gene Sperling, Bill Clinton's former economic advisor, has opined that, in the absence of appropriate policies, the rising tide will lift some boats, but others will run aground.